guys, Tony here, and I've got something special to share with you today. If you're anything like me, you've probably struggled in the past to find the perfect amplifier for your home theater setup. It's not easy to find something that delivers both power and quality without breaking the bank. Well, my friend Amir from Summit HIFI in Canada reached out and offered to send me the A7 7-channel toroidal power amplifier that he developed for his own brand. This isn't a sponsored video, but I want to be transparent that the amp was sent to me for the review. And before we dive in, if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel for more home theater content as I push toward my goal of 50,000 subscribers. Let's dive in and see what this beast is all about. So why do you need an amplifier for your home theater setup? There are several reasons you might want to consider for adding one. First, if you have a high-end processor like a Trinnov or an Anthem AVM70, you might have noticed that these devices don't come with built-in amplifiers. These processors are designed to deliver the best possible quality audio, but they need a separate power amplifier to drive your speakers. Seriously, without one, it's like having a Ferrari with no engine. Looks great, but you ain't going anywhere. Even if you have a receiver, adding an amplifier can still make a big difference. Many receivers come with built-in amplifiers, but they might not have enough power to drive larger or more demanding speakers effectively. This is where an external amp comes in. For example, with my Pioneer VSX LX503, I'm going to use the A7 amp to power my main LCR and surrounds, which allows the receiver's built-in amps to handle the additional Atmos channels. This setup ensures that each speaker gets the power it needs for optimal performance. Adding an amplifier can also reduce the strain on your receiver. Lastly, a dedicated amplifier often comes with better build quality and components compared to the amps built in most receivers. This means lower distortion, better dynamics, and overall improved sound quality. If you're serious about getting the best possible audio experience from your home theater, upgrading to a separate amplifier is a great investment. Let's start with the specs. The Summit HIFI A7 is a Class AB amplifier with low distortion built for delivering a powerful performance. It can do 200 watts per channel at 8 ohms with all channels driven and over 250 watts per channel at 4 ohms. For peak power, it reaches 350 watts at 8 ohms and 400 watts at 4 ohms. This is more than sufficient to drive even the most demanding speakers with ease. One of the standout features of this amp is its high quality dual toroidal power supply. This design enhances efficiency and provides a clean, stable power source, which translates to better audio performance. The power supply helps reduce electromagnetic interference, ensuring that the audio signal remains as pure as possible. Connectivity-wise, the A7 has you covered with both unbalanced RCA and balanced XLR inputs. This gives you flexibility in how you connect your equipment, whether it's a high-end preamp or a more traditional setup like mine with a receiver. Balanced connections are particularly great for reducing noise and interference, especially over long cable runs. Now let's talk about the aesthetics and the functionality. The A7 features a 9-inch wide LCD screen on the front panel. This screen isn't just for show, it displays various styles of digital, retro and digital meters and adds a touch of modern elegance to your setup. You can even turn it off if you prefer a more minimalist look. Heat management is efficiently handled by individual heat sinks for each amplifier module. This allows for better heat dissipation, ensuring the amplifier maintains optimal performance even during extended listening sessions or movie marathons without overheating. Build quality is exceptional. The A7 is built like a tank, weighing in at 32 kilograms. It features high quality speaker terminals that ensure a solid connection and minimize signal loss, which does give it a really premium feel, as I mentioned in my previous videos, and why I love my Crick speakers so much that I'm a sucker for good quality speaker terminals. For more detailed specs, you can check the links down in the description. Now let's talk installation. Setting up the A7 was pretty straightforward. I connected it up to my Crick's Nuphonics towers and Epicentric speakers along with my surrounds in my 7.2.4 speaker setup. I am kinda cheesing it a little with my two surrounds being overhead as I have no sidewall to put them in, but for a space like this it works out fine. The Crick's Nuphonics towers are a 3-way speaker, meaning that they can be bi-amped, and I have bi-amped them in the past, but this time I just wanted to hear the whole 7.2.4 setup, how it sounded with the speakers powered through the A7. I'm using my Pioneer VSX LX503 as the preamp for my main speakers, and for my setup, which is a 7.2.4, so the remaining speakers are going through the receiver. The rear panel of the A7 is well laid out with clearly labelled inputs and outputs, making the installation process a breeze. One thing to note, if you're in Australia or any other 240 volt region, this amp comes set at 110 volts, so you'll need to open up the chassis and switch the power supplies over to 230 volts. It's a simple process, but make sure that you don't skip this step. Just remove the top cover, locate the voltage switches on the power supplies and set it to the correct voltage for your region. This little step ensures that the amp runs safely and efficiently in your setup. Once I had the voltage set correctly, it was just a matter of plugging in the speaker cables and connecting the input sources. The high quality speaker terminals make it easy to get a secure connection, whether you're using bare wire or banana plugs. My first impressions of the A7. Wow, this thing is heavy and premium. The build quality is exceptional, from the high quality speaker terminals to the balanced and unbalanced connectors. The 9-inch wide LCD screen comes with a customizable digital retro meter, which is a nice touch, adding a modern elegance with functionality. What really stood out for me was the power. There is a noticeable oomph in the mid-range and the bass. My speakers felt more alive and more dynamic with this amp driving them. The clarity and the detail of the sound were also impressive, making my home theater experience even more immersive. The A7's performance in music playback was equally impressive. The amplifier delivered a rich, detailed soundstage with plenty of depth and separation between the speakers. The bass was tight and controlled, and the mids were clear and natural, and the highs were crisp without being harsh. I'll play some demos for both music and movies to show you what this amp can do. Keep in mind, due to copyright issues with YouTube and the limitations of the recording through my microphone, it might be hard for you to hear what I'm hearing, as well as this room has no acoustic treatment, so there is a bit of an echo, but I'll do my best to give you a sense of its performance. Let's break down some pros and cons. For the pros, we have a powerful performance with 200 plus watts per channel at 8 ohms, all channels driven, and 250 plus watts per channel at 4 ohms. High quality build with premium components, balanced XLR and unbalanced RCA inputs, customizable 9-inch wide LCD display with retro meters, toroidal power supply for stable power output and reduced interference, individual heat sinks for each module ensuring optimal performance even during extended listening sessions. For the cons, it's heavy, so you will need a sturdy shelf or rack for it. It needs to be manually switched to 230 volts for the regions outside of North America, and the price might be a little high for some budgets, but you get what you pay for, especially with something of this quality. It could almost be considered a pro if you're after something high quality. The price is pretty decent. For the verdict, overall, I really recommend the Summit HIFI A7 amplifier. I love how it looks, I love how it sounds, and I love how it integrates with my setup. My speakers needed more power, and this amp really gives them the juice they need. It delivers on both performance and aesthetics, making it a great addition to any home theater. Also, there is an 11-channel version available if you're looking for even more channels. Check the links down in the description for pricing and availability in your region. I'd like to thank Amir from Summit HIFI for sending this to me for the review video. He's been super awesome to deal with, especially after I had a little issue with the 240 volt thing, which I won't go into in this video. But thank you so much for helping me sort that out, as well as Crix for their support as well. You know what I'm talking about. If you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more home theater content. But that's it for this one. You'll catch me in the next one. Bye for now.